Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back to this week's episode of the What Happened podcast. As always, I'm your host, Tyler Dixon, joined by Bingham and Zane as our Jamie. Bingham, how you doing today?
I'm great, Dickie. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Some upsetting matchups. One misplaced flex position I lost this week, but I think I'll be all right going forward.
Yeah, tough loser Tuesday for you, and
Yes,
I,
sir.
I have a lot of confidence that you'll bounce back. You made a good trade that we'll get into, and
Yes, sir.
Zane has no hope though. So
Yeah, sorry,
I have
Zane.
looking
hope. I'm
forward
feel
to
I'm feeling
talking
good.
about him more.
We just had a fun fact come in that Zane lost the entirety of October. So maybe November is your month, Zane.
I can only go up.
Yeah, no, November hasn't started good for you.
No, it has not. All right, let's get right into it. Let's see the standings from last week.
Yes.
And let's get right into it. Okay, from the top, Linguini has a close game against Oklahoma, Drew. Wow. I didn't know it was that close, Zane.
I would have won if I would have played the right players.
Who would you put in to win?
James Robinson over Pacheco.
Is there a reason why you thought the Chiefs had a run offense?
No, there's not. I looked at the projections and Pacheco was projected one more point than Robinson before the game. And that's what I went with.
It's a cowardly decision. Bingham, any thoughts on that game?
Uh, I, I, this game was pretty close. I didn't really think it would be. But I think Zane's getting closer. I think stuff will actually turn around for him. I just like to talk shit.
Yeah, it's also looking like Josh's team is human. So going
Yeah,
forward, it's possible
Josh's
to beat
wide
him.
Josh's wide receiver position is going to hold him back going forward. So I don't know what he's
Definitely.
gonna. I don't know what he's gonna do about that with our upcoming trade deadline, in like a week or two. But I think he's gonna have to upgrade that receiver position if he wants to win the whole thing.
Yeah, that's worth noting. On November 19th is the trade deadline for this league. So make sure to get your trades in before then, with me specifically.
Yeah,
All
I
right, the
hope.
next game is Fogel's footlong dropping a whopping 60 points to Carson's 150. Isaiah is back in full form.
Yeah, it didn't take too long, huh? I was I, after having won last week. I think he might have really persuaded me. I've I bought into his team, and I feel like an idiot for doing that. But yeah, his team is back to what it is. It's terrible, and
Yeah,
I obviously Carson's however many games he lost in a row. I knew that wasn't going to last, and his team is really good, and it just keeps getting better week by week. So he's definitely a guy I'm scared of going forward.
yeah, Carson's team is intimidating for sure. Another intimidating team, the top team in the league, Dogs in him, has another massive week, headlined by Joe Mixon's best fantasy performance of the season, dropping 145 points to Wadarius Tony's 88.
Just Joe Mixon getting 50 is so irritating because I mean I like you can't really say a lot of bad things about Zach's team. Obviously,
Definitely.
he has a lot of good players, but I mean if Joe Mixon just gets like a normal, like let's say he has a good game against 20, it's like his points for doesn't just shoot up. So I don't know. Obviously his team's really good, so can't really be too mad. And then with Darius Tony, it's just the 10th or 12th place is going to be the same teams for the rest of the season. It'll just be
Yeah.
a battle for last.
Well, week 11 matchup to be looking for is Linguine and 2-inch Chubb. I was looking today.
Yeah, that team is going to join in fighting for the last spot. I still think the ACT is wide open. There isn't one team that's set for it yet.
I agree. There's what the two there are 3, 2, and 7 teams, right? They're all, yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
battle pretty much. So it's definitely pretty open.
It's
I
not.
that's I don't even care about the winner of this league anymore. I just can't wait to see how that one shapes up.
It's not. You can't give up yet. No
No,
one's
not
in
at
the
all.
shithole yet. All right, for the next
A lot of
matchup,
ball
it's
left.
yeah, definitely. It's Bingham with 121 to I'm Hardman's 96. Is Nate's team back to where we expected it to be, Bingham?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, I mean, he didn't have Barkley, so that was
Yep.
definitely a big loss for him, and he had to play the the Falcons' third string running back, Caleb
He didn't have
Huntley.
to.
Well, yeah, he didn't have to, but he still chose to. So I'm not really sure what he was doing. I don't know. I may backtrack actually. I think Nate's team is still going to be good for going forward, but he's got Burrow on bye this week, which I guess we'll get into that later. But I don't know. He's going to have to. He can't start losing because it's
No,
the. I feel like the top three teams are really top five teams are almost kind of set for
we're
playoffs.
fighting
So
for the sixth playoff spot right now.
yeah, so he can't keep losing right now.
There's a lot of ball left though.
Yep.
Good 121
Absolutely.
points by you, Bingham.
Yeah, I was pretty happy. I got my two running backs gave me a really big boost, made up for Diggs and Hopkins having a really quiet week, and Godwin's non-existent. He's really starting to piss me off. So, uh, yeah, I was very pleased with the performance I got from my running backs, which is what saved me.
Yeah, speaking of performance by running backs, we can get into my game where David Montgomery is a piece of shit running back, and I should have started Kenyon Drake over him, and I was going to start Kenyon Drake over him, but I just completely forgot to put him in. So that is a foresight on my part. I want to apologize to the league. I should have beat Jared this week.
Yeah, I just want everyone in our league to listen to what Dickie just said about Montgomery. He said he described him as a piece of shit running back. So if any of you fall into some trade with Dickie that involves David Montgomery in it, you're a complete idiot. That's your
It's
fault for
likely
not
to be
listening.
David Montgomery and Devin Singletary pieced together for some piece, and just know that is open to everybody.
I think that's 2 weeks in a row he has made that comment about David Montgomery.
No, he's a great running back, top of the league. I have a top 10 ECR.
No, yeah, that was my favorite thing was you coming on this and saying that your running back room was trending up when I know deep down you just hate David Montgomery.
With a passion. But I did make a move to hopefully bolster my performance going forward. But we'll get into
Yeah,
that in the future.
definitely a good move. But yeah, I think like you said, I mean, it's the sixth spot is still wide open, so you're not out of it at all.
And the final matchup, the battle of 2-inch Chubb versus Zaby Baby, also known as 61 points to 96 points. Not a interesting game at all here. 2-inch Chubb has the second
No.
least points scored. Kind of just a boring game.
Yeah, it's pretty fitting having second to last and last place team scored the second to last and last most points scored this week. So
Well said.
kind of just literally sums up how their season has gone. But yeah, I mean, Xavier Baby, I guess, did what he had to this week. He got the win. He beat a bad team, and he can move forward and hopefully score some more points against better teams that he has to play.
Yeah, that's the matchups you have to win. Good job,
Yep.
Zaby Baby.
Yep.
All right, let's get into the trades that happened this week, Zane. Oh, what happened? I want to get into this because I picked Bingham to lose, but I knew throughout the entire week that Bingham would win. I never expect Nate to win a game, but I had to switch it up for the content. That's also
Yeah, I
my best
respect
week
that.
yet.
Dickie finally goes over 500, which is
I'm
incredible.
back.
So he didn't have to do the coin flip. He didn't have to just play dumb. He actually went smart with his picks besides backtracking, picking Nate against me, which, I would feel bad for you, Dickie, but of all the games that you changed that game.
I think my karma hit me because I think that's the reason why I lost my matchup this week by picking Nate.
What? Because you picked Nate?
Picking Nate made me start David Montgomery this week. And karma's a bitch.
I think that's a good strategy you should go with. You should just never pick Nate again, so you just win every week going forward.
I am. That is the plan. I switched off of you. Nate is now my enemy of the pod.
Yeah, the guest pickers now are have two more picks right in one less week to you, Dickie. So it hasn't been a good start for the picks.
Oh damn,
for you
that's
at all.
true. Oh wow, that hurts.
I have an 8-game lead, or I guess 8-pick lead right now. I feel
1 week
good
I'll be
about
back
it.
in it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, there's gonna have to be a time maybe where you just have to start picking against me in every game, Dickie, to try and make up some ground.
That's not this week.
Yeah, not this week. But
Okay.
yeah, it's looking good.
Let's get into the trades that happened. We're gonna start off with my trade that I made yesterday or 2 days ago with Wadarius Toney. I saw Dalvin Cook, and I needed a good running back. At the time, Aaron Jones was just carted off the field, leaving the stadium in a walking boot. I wanted to fleece Caleb a little bit and hoping that Aaron Jones was out to 4 to 6 weeks is what I was guessing. Turns out he's perfectly fine, so that's a little bit annoying that he's healthy and I'm going to have to be playing against him this week. But Jacoby Myers has had his weeks where he booms. More often than not, he drops no points or 5 points, or he just fumbles the ball and loses me the week. And Justin Herbert has been the exact same way. He's been nothing what I'm expecting out of him. He's averaging around 20 points a game, which isn't what I wanted off the, I believe, the fourth quarterback drafted overall this season.
Yeah, I think I don't know, I think it was a good move for you just to change some things up because I don't think Jacoby Myers is gonna play that big of a role for you anyway. And like you said, Herbert's been disappointing. So it almost just feels like a 1-for-1 swap between Jones and Dalvin Cook and Aaron Jones. I don't know why the Packers just haven't used him enough. But Dalvin Cook gets a lot of usage, so I think it's a good pickup for you, and I think it'll help you a lot going forward.
I saw enough when I saw them running when Aaron Jones wasn't in the game when they were within the 5 yard line to get a touchdown. That's when I saw enough. I'm like, Green Bay does not want to win. They are tanking for something. And that told me enough to get rid of him.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I think the best thing he has for him fantasy value is just he can be a good pass catcher for him, but they're not really using him on that at all, really. So yeah, I think it's the right time to get rid of him.
And he's got his bye going. He's got his bye in the future. Dalvin Cook's already had his bye. I think that he's gonna be good. He's welcomed with open arms to the Losers React Winners Respond team.
Oh yeah,
let's get right into the next one. Bam, you want to go over this one?
Yeah, this trade really didn't make me happy. It was DeAndre Swift. So Tua Deez Nuts traded DeAndre Swift and Amon-Ra St. Brown, two Lions. He traded two Lions players to Zaby Baby for Alvin Kamara, who is basically the Saints offense right now. So yeah, I'm not happy about this trade. I vetoed it immediately. Sorry, Carson. But yeah, Alvin Kamara is really good, and Swift just he has health problems, it seems like. And St. Brown had good first like 3 weeks when the Lions offense was #1 in the NFL and really hasn't done much since. So I don't know. I think this helps Carson a ton with Carson already having two of the best receivers in fantasy. So yeah, I think this helps Carson a ton. I don't like this trade knowing that I'm gonna have to compete against Carson later in the season. So it's whatever, I guess, but good move for Carson.
Yeah, offloading two players who had an amazing start to the season for Alvin Kamara, who's going to have an amazing end of the season, is a genius move. Braden, I wish I knew what you were thinking when you accepted this trade. Braden normally is the type of guy that would need a star-studded player in return for Alvin Kamara. He is never one to make fair trades. He always has to be benefiting at like 2-1. So I am shocked he accepted this.
Yeah, maybe in his mind he thinks something different about Swift and St. Brown. I'm not sure, but I guess they could be good if they play like they were, but I just don't see that happening.
No, I don't either.
As someone that had Swift on my team, I think Carson won this trade.
Yeah,
definitely.
I bet. Well, how long was Swift out, Zane?
5 weeks or so. And not to mention, they used Jamal just as much as they used Swift. I think the last 2 weeks with Swift back, he's got 15 points.
Yeah, they have been using Jamal Williams a lot. And then how much can you really trust Jared Goff every game throwing it to St. Brown? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss on this one. Maybe it's not as bad as I think it is, but I don't know. I think Carson won this trade by a lot.
Yes, definitely. And I believe if am hearing right, it is time for the ad read. So our contract with a certain company that provides swipes, I'm not going to say their name because they're not paying us anymore, is over with. We have a new sponsor for this week's episode. We'll likely have a new sponsor for next week's episode also. And the sponsor this week is Manscaped. Bingham, thoughts on Manscaped?
Oh, I love Manscaped. They
Don't
help
we
me a
all?
lot.
Manscaped is now doing more than just dick trimmers. They are doing nose hair trimmers too. If you have hair all over your body, you need Manscaped. It's great. It's the best ball hair trimmer on the market. Shaves your piece and makes it look great. It's perfect for any orifice that has hair coming out. I use Manscaped. Bingham use Manscaped. It's really, really good. I make Zane shave my dick before every show with Manscaped. He used to mind it, but he doesn't mind it anymore because it's Manscaped and it doesn't bother him anymore. You got a special offer for the people. You get 20% off and free shipping. You just have to use code WUD at manscaped.com. They're giving away the entire store for 20% with code WUD. Thank you, Manscaped.
Thank you, Manscaped. I'm excited for that one.
What an interesting ad read.
What do you mean?
How's that interesting?
What did I say? Did I say something?
No.
Okay. Well, you want to bring the guest in? We can intro the guest.
Yeah, I'll bring him in.
All right. The guest this week is someone who is always respected in this league. It's someone we've been wanting to have on since the first week, but he hasn't been winning games, so we haven't been able to bring him on. This week, we are bringing someone who is always a fan favorite to win the league. He has made big moves. He's not afraid to make trades. He's constantly making trades, and we already covered one of his trades. Introducing the one, the only, the biggest Dolphins fan there is, Tua Deez Nuts, a.k.a. Carson Rainbolt. Hey, Carson, how you doing?
Good, Dixon. I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me. If I was standing up right now, I would do a little waddle, for all my Fins fans out there. But yeah, good to be here.
I know that makes Zane happy.
Zane would hate it. Carson, you have been a beast to be reckoned with in this league, and every time we've played this league going in the past, you are always making moves. You're not afraid to make moves. Why? What caused this? Why are you like this?
I like to think that I'm a sleeping giant. Like, I might not win every week, but you're like, early in the season, like I was in Dixon's head. I was like 1-2, but like man's thinking about what I'm doing down the road. So, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I do a lot of research. It's just what I enjoy to do. So yeah, I've made 11 trades this season. It's like more than one a week. I like to think of myself as a no nonsense head coach. Like if you slip up once, you're gone. If I can't find a trading partner, I'm just going to cut you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I was like, go ahead, Bingham.
I was just say sounds like Belichick, and that's worked out great for him. So
yeah.
How many players on your starting roster do you still have from the team you drafted, the team you're at now? Who do you have still?
I have one. It's Jalen Hurts. I don't see myself getting rid of Jalen Hurts, but I haven't had a player other than Hurts for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah, I just traded away my quarterback, so I'm only left with Zach Ertz.
Oh, that's a good one too.
It's not a bad one. It's been an interesting trading season for us, Carson.
Yeah, you and I think, have the highest volume of trades. I'm not sure if they've worked out for us every time, but
No, I think they work out for you a little bit more than they work out for me. But let's start with this. What has been your favorite trade you've made so far?
Sheesh, that's tough. I think instant gratification type trade I've made is the Jonathan Taylor for Jamar Chase trade, because like I made it and immediately Chase just out for like 6 weeks. So that's a good one. That's just lucky, honestly. Yeah. But I'm pumped about the Justin Jefferson one that I made with Zach. I know Mixon had like a 53-point game or whatever it was last week, but that's not going to happen every week.
You take that out. Mixon has been piss poor.
Yeah, I agree. So Jefferson and Jonathan Taylor, and I don't even know if Taylor played a single game for me, which is kind of a problem I have. I get guys and immediately trade them away, but whatever.
It's expected. I tried to warn the league that if you keep on trading with Carson by the end of the league or by the end of the season, he's going to have the best players at every position, and you already have the top 2 wide receivers that were drafted and a top running back now too.
Yeah, I mean, every trade I make, I like to think about the playoffs. So like, yeah, the problem is like I have like a sucky team in the meantime because everybody's hurt. Like Keenan Allen and Cordero Patterson have been hurt for me all year. But I'm just hoping if I can make it into the playoffs, my guys are going to be good enough to win some games. I don't know with Bingham's team though. I mean, Bingham's got like 3 incredible young running backs. He's got stupid Hopkins on PEDs and stuff. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why he's been so damn good to start out.
Yeah.
No, honestly though, every time I see the notification on my phone that there's a trade that went through between you and someone else, I just like don't even want to open it because I know that you win it every time, and it's infuriating because I know I'm gonna have to compete with you at the end of the season because I've been saying it every week on this podcast that even through your however many games you lost in a row, I still think you're going to be there at the end. And I don't want to go against your team, that's for sure. So hopefully we don't have to cross paths.
It's master manipulation, and I've only got like 2 weeks left before the trade deadline, and you won't have to worry about those anymore. But hopefully by then I've got maybe I'll add Saquon and Derrick Henry to my roster too. Nate and Zach, if you guys are listening.
Yeah.
Carson, I have one
Yeah.
more question for you.
Okay.
Obviously, you've made a lot of trades, and most of them are ending up being pretty fair trades. Do you use any like tools to aid you in making trades, or are you doing this just off the top of your head?
I do use. There's one tool I rely upon very heavily.
Or do you want to give it out to people?
I don't want to give it out. But one thing I do is I like to find what other players do, what other tools they use. I noticed Dixon uses a specific fantasy football trade analyzer. So I plug in like, okay,
I
if
use
I have
4.
these. Oh, I've seen 2 specifically that you use
Yeah.
that you sent me screenshots of. And so
I
I'll
have.
plug into those just to see like, oh, from Dixon's point of view, this is what he's thinking. But there's one that I use that I don't know many other people out there using that I like a lot. But
Yeah, I
keep that
haven't
on
sent
the
you any
down low.
screenshots of my main
Oh
list.
man, what if we're using the same?
It might be. There's a podcast related to it that I listen to a lot.
I agree. Okay, I don't listen to the podcast, but there's a podcast related to mine too.
I like the 5-minute one that comes out on Thursdays personally. It's my
I don't
speed.
know if we're talking about the same one.
Okay,
I'm
good.
more of a 1.5 hour guy, Monday through Friday.
Oh, I enjoy their Halloween episode.
Okay, we listen to the same podcast.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, there's a
Shit.
couple others though too.
Yeah, there are. All right. Do you have any more questions for Carson?
I have a
No, I
question
don't.
for Zane.
Go ahead.
Is the season over, Zane?
No, I've almost broke 100. It's not over yet.
Breaking 100 is like that's going to make you compete with like maybe Caleb, but like, do you see playoffs in your future?
I think I could sneak into the 6th seed. Dixon's team doesn't scare me. I think Nate
Fuck
was
you.
I don't know what the standings say now. Nate was 6th seed last week, and Nate's team doesn't scare me either. So
Yeah, it's you, me, Nate, and Jared tied for the 6th spot.
I
Oof,
think
you guys all have the same record.
Yeah.
No, do we?
No,
Yeah,
Zane
we
has
No,
one
I
less
have
win.
I'm one less.
Oh
win.
yeah, fuck. You're not even relevant anymore.
Yeah, that's not true.
No, Zane.
I play Braden this week. I hope I play Jared, but
Well, you're playing
Well-
against Swift, and he sucks, so that's good. Lucky
Well, let's
you.
save that for the picks. Let's get right
Okay,
into the
okay,
picks
okay,
if you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Pull it up, Zane.
Oh yeah, this is okay. Yeah, you do have one less win.
Tough.
Yeah, not looking good for you there. that
Zane's
ninth
down
spot.
there, one more loss, Zane, and you're down there with the bottom 3.
The
And
best-
you should look
the
at Zane's
best-
matchup this week.
the best part about all of this is that Zane is only one win out of the 6th spot potentially, and he's only one less win out of taking that ACT.
it's right where I want to be.
Yeah, oh yeah, you like getting a 5-game losing streak?
Yeah, if it's followed by a winning streak the rest of the year.
Oh yeah, he's saving up wins.
Hey, that's well said,
backlogging
Zane.
wins for the rest of the season.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. Pull up the matchup, Zane. At the top, we have Linguini going against Armed Rodgery. Bingham, kick us off.
Well, yeah, I think it's with Zane not having his QB yet, and it's a mystery of who he's getting off the waivers. I think I'll still go with Zane here. I like him to bounce back. I like him to end that 5-game losing streak. So, Zane, you are dead to me if you can't turn this thing around, because it's just going to be really pathetic and embarrassing, because it's not looking like Armed Rodgers' team is really all that good right now. He's got a couple players on bye, and Jamar Chase still hurt. But yeah, I'll go with Zane this one, and I'll be pissed if he doesn't win.
Yeah, so I see Zane as worse at the running back and wide receiver position than Jared, and it's close to quarterback. But I think Jared has a stronger quarterback matchup, and every other position's a slightly better matchup. So I'm going to take Jared in this one.
I think as much as I would love to see Zane continue to lose and maybe never win again, I'm gonna have to go with Zane on this one. I mean, Jared's got Mark Andrews on bye. That's tough. Jamar Chase still out. He's got Mostert's gonna be splitting carries with Jeff Wilson going forward. I mean, outside of Mahomes, I don't see a lot going for Jared. So I'm gonna go with Zane on this one.
Yeah, Jeff Wilson has already taken over the Dolphins' backfield, taking majority snaps in the last game too. All right, the next game we have Isaiah going against I'm a Hard Man. In this one, Isaiah does not have an easy week, but his team is having a better outlook, in my opinion, against Nate, who's looking like he might struggle this week with some issues at position matchups.
Yeah, Nate's got Burrow and Ramondre Stevenson on bye, so that's tough. I like the way Isaiah's running backs are playing Atlanta and Detroit, so those are pretty good matchups. I'm gonna go with Isaiah, get him off the mat here.
Dickie, did you pick Isaiah too?
Yeah, I did.
All right. I think I'm kind of mad you guys did because I really wanted to pick him. But yeah, I think I'll take Nate here. I think he'll be able to overcome his big bye weeks. I think Adams is going to start getting targeted, especially after the week he put up last week. I think they'll keep feeding him the ball, and he's got Barkley coming back. I guess he'll be a mystery of what he does at QB2 on the waivers. So I still like Nate in this matchup. And after Isaiah fooling me last week when he was on this episode saying his team was back, I'm not buying this shit anymore. So give me Nate.
Perfect. And next we have Oklahoma Drill going against Zaby Baby. Carson, kick us off.
I mean, I'm just gonna go with Josh here. I don't think Oklahoma Drill is as fearsome a team as it once was, but he's still got CMC. He's still got Josh Allen, and Braden's been on a decent little streak. For some reason, I still think he's fraudulent. I lost to Braden, so I don't know if I can even say that, but I'm gonna go with Josh. I think Josh can get a couple more wins and seal up a playoff berth here.
Dame, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Josh here as well. Just basically for all the same reasons that Carson said. I don't think I'll go as far as say that Xavier Baby's a fraud, but I do like Josh Allen every week. McCaffrey, I mean, he's already getting projections over 20 as a running back. So yeah, I like Josh in this matchup.
Yeah, so I also take Josh in this. Before Zane traded away Alvin Kamara, I thought he had a chance if his running backs had a strong performance, but since he traded away his best running back and is stuck with some Lions players, I don't think he has a shot this week.
Well said. Well said.
And we move into the number one team, Dogs in him, taking on Carson. Carson, this is a little home team, a home game picking. Who are you taking?
This is the toughest game of the week. I mean, Zach somehow, even after he traded away arguably his best player in Jefferson, he traded away a great asset in T. Higgins. He puts up 150 points like it's nothing every week. That being said, he's got Mixon on bye this week. I'm kind of liking the matchups I've got. He's got some tough ones. Derrick Henry's playing Buffalo, I think. So I'm gonna go with me. I'm gonna pick against myself against Zach here.
I love the confidence, Bingham.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I think that Carson's going to knock down the giant of the league this week. I mean, he's still got that one Palmer, whatever his name is, from the Chargers at his receiver. So I don't know. But the move that Carson just made, his team is just annoying me. So yeah, I'll take Carson in this one.
So initially I picked Zach, but that was before I processed the new trade that Carson made. In my notes, I said Carson needs his running backs to step up to get this win, and I believe his running backs will step up this week to get him the win. I'm taking Carson also here.
Let's go.
That's a sweep from the board, Carson. I don't know if that's
that's probably not a good sign.
I can't believe that we just had all three of us. Well, I guess Carson, I get it, but all three of us just picked against the dude who's been basically unstoppable.
He's won 7 games in a row. Yeah.
If Carson, if you don't win, Zach will make sure we hear it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I am rooting for you hard on this one.
Thank you.
Yeah, if Zach tries to talk shit to me ever again, I swear.
Just leave it at that.
He
What are you gonna
swears.
do to
I
him?
swear.
What are you gonna do? Yeah, what
I
are you gonna do?
swear.
I had to stop myself. I was about to let a really bad joke fly that would get us kicked off of YouTube really fast.
Oh, we are
You
now we
Mordecai.
can't
It may
lose our
have-
sponsors.
It may have relied or
I
been
can blur
related
it out.
to well, I was just saying it may have been related to his religion.
Interesting.
Anyways,
Noted Orthodox.
Another
Jew,
week where
Zach
no one puts
Walker.
up points against Zach.
Yeah, of
Well
course.
said, Zane. All right, the second to last matchup, we have Bingham going against 2-inch Chubb. I am taking Bingham on this one, but I do think it's gonna be closer than people expect. Bryce matches up well against Bingham, and if his players do good and Bryce makes some good waiver wire moves, Bryce can keep this game close.
I disagree. Bingham's gonna blow him out. I think if I had to choose who's gonna get last right now, I'd say it's Bryce. Bryce he can't comprehend the waiver wire, so he's not gonna make a good waiver wire claim. He continues to start players that are injured that aren't gonna play. I texted him and said, "You got a dude that's hurt that's playing." He's like, "Oh, I didn't have anybody else." Like, what are you talking about? There's thousands of NFL players that are on the waiver wire. Go pick them up. Bryce's team is awful. He's got Chubb, and that's it. There's nothing else going. Give me Bingham by 60.
You guys want to hear something funny? Nate just sent me a trade. It's Devontae Adams and Ramondre Stevenson for Tyreek Hill and Dalvin Cook.
Oh, it's not great.
Nate, you can stay out of my fucking trade.
It's not great.
All right, Bingham, have you
Yeah,
picked yet?
Carson, I haven't, but I appreciate Carson's confidence in me. I hope that's the case. I'm actually very scared about this matchup. I really am, just because it's going against one of the worst teams in the league, and I feel like I have one of the best teams in the league. So I just feel like this is gonna be one of those classic, I get upset and I never hear the end of it. But I have Justin Fields replacing Lamar Jackson this weekend. I love Justin Fields right now. He's playing Detroit. So I'm gonna take myself, and I think Justin Fields will carry me to a win this week. So I'm worried about the rest of my team.
Bingham,
Bryce's best shot. Go ahead, Carson.
if Justin Fields plays well this week, when Lamar gets back off of bye, is there a decision to be made there, or you just plug Lamar back in and we continue chugging along?
I think that's a really good question. After what Justin Fields just did last week and putting up 40 plus points and having the most rushing yards from a quarterback in one game, I think there might have to be a decision, and that might be something that factors into the trade deadline coming up. So I don't know.
I agree.
I have no idea. I just think it's not smart to keep two really good quarterbacks going forward whenever they've all had their bye. So there will
Yeah.
definitely be a decision.
You can't play them both, and Zane's in the market over here for a quarterback. Zach might need quarterback, so there's some guys out there.
I could
Well,
be there too.
I got the waiver.
Oh, yeah, you got Marcus
Yeah, okay,
Mariota
Zane.
on the waiver.
Yeah,
Whoever's out there.
Isaiah
you-
has him on lock. I can't even get him.
Oh, okay.
You've tried the waiver all season, Zane. It's not working, so you should probably try a trade. or
I don't have
something.
anyone of value to trade for either.
No,
give
you
me,
don't. That's right. You don't.
I'll give you Kelsey for Lamar.
No, that's a bad trade.
Let's get a deal done right now on the show. Kelsey for Lamar and what's it? Najee. Kelsey for Lamar and Najee. Come on. I want it done.
I do hate the Naj, so yeah, I'll move on from him.
I don't think he even plays on Bingham's team.
No,
No,
doesn't. Bench run
he's
well.
riding the pine right now. I'm sick of him.
Um,
Him and
this-
Godwin, they're just full of shit right now. I can't stand them. All right, but let's not talk about that. I'll get real fired up if we keep going.
Let's talk about the best
last-
team in the league going
last-
me.
I have you losing.
Fuck
Yeah,
you.
We have the last game of week 10 is Dickey's team, who he self-proclaimed as the best team in the league, going up against Wadarius Toney, who is not even close to the best team in the league. So yeah, I don't think there's anything to be said. In my part, I'm taking Dickey.
Thank you. I am also taking myself because I am better.
I disagree. I'm going to take Caleb here.
God damn it.
No, I don't think there's a big three at the bottom. I think there's a big two. I think it's Bryce and Isaiah. I think Caleb is better than that. I think Caleb lost some games that he shouldn't have lost. I misspoke earlier. I said Henry was playing Buffalo. That's not true. Dalvin Cook is playing Buffalo. That's a tough matchup. David Montgomery sucks. I mean, he's the worst running back they have on the roster. So I'm gonna take
The Bills have
Caleb.
shown Bills defense has shown one weakness this season, and it's been the running game.
I don't know though. I mean, the Bills are going to get up so big, they're just going to have to throw the ball the rest of it. This would be a huge game from Jefferson. So
I'm ready for that not to be true.
has anybody ever gone 6-0 in these picks?
Isaiah is the best at 5-1.
Okay, I'll do 6-0 this
And
week,
the
I
one
guess.
game he got wrong was picking Bryce last week.
Big mistake.
I think I went 5-1 our first week, but it's whatever saying. I don't.
You're 5-1 this week too.
Well, talking guest pickers.
Oh, guest pickers.
Zach has
Yeah,
the second best, I believe, at 4-2.
Can Zach
Damn, so
do
Josh was
wrong?
the worst. Yes, he can do wrong.
Yeah, he'll lose this week.
He chose to be a certain religion.
He did. He chose to go to a certain school where they only eat corn too. Let's just spend a few minutes talking shit on Zach.
Go pull up Zach's team. Let's talk Zach as a person or Zach as a fantasy player because I can do both.
More personal.
I'll let you guys take care. I just want to really sit back and watch this.
You're gonna sit this one out, Bingham?
I just don't think I know him well enough to actually just fully.
No, you do. Zach can handle it.
So Zach is the most toxic person this year. His two teams, the Eagles and the Phillies, are both having good years. I got so happy when the Phillies lost, not because I wanted the Astros to win, just because I want to see Zach cry like a little baby that he is. I'm hoping the Eagles fall apart just like the Cardinals from last year and the Steelers from 2 years ago. I want that to happen so bad.
Well, the most insufferable thing about Zach is that you can razz him all you want, you can make fun of him, you can bully him, and man is unaffected. You can't get under his skin. Like I can talk some shit to Zane and Zane will flip out. But Zach, you can't rattle him. He's always got to come back. So yeah, I hope he loses in fantasy. I hope he doesn't win anything in the playoffs. I'm glad the Phillies lost. The Eagles are fraudulent. That's factual, but he's the worst.
I'm sure he'll like that when he
Zach
hears
wears jeans and a
if he
polo
listens to this podcast.
while driving in a car. That's all you need to know about this.
He doesn't drive. He doesn't know. He doesn't have a driver's license. But yeah, I mean, he's not going to hear any of this.
Driver's license?
No, he
can't drive. He can't drive. He's legally blind. He's not allowed to drive.
He goes to school 14 hours from home, and he doesn't have a car. Dude, walks to McDonald's uphill 3 miles both ways.
Walks through the drive-through.
Yeah,
he's mildly autistic too.
Not mildly. He's aggressively.
Wait, he walks through the drive-through?
Yes, he's walked through the drive-through multiple times.
While there's snow on the ground, he's doing that shit.
Man,
he lives in freshman dorms as a senior.
He lives in freshman dorms. He's too scared to bring Alk into the dorms because his roommate's gonna catch him. He's the worst.
His roommate, who's 95 pounds soaking wet, Zach's intimidated by.
His roommate who does yoga on the TV in their living room.
This is the guy who Zach is intimidated by.
This guy's 8-1. We're all losing to this guy.
This is the most embarrassing thing I've ever had in my life.
We should
I think
shut down the league.
200 less points been put up against him.
Well, yeah, of course, because his team's fraudulent too. He's 70 a week.
Yeah, he has one player drop 50 points every week.
Yeah, unsustainable.
You can't get lucky forever.
Man, for the longest time, Dickie, I really thought you were being way too harsh on Zach, but I think you might have justification for this.
I can't stand this guy.
I didn't know he was that big of a. All I needed to hear was that he freaking walks to the drive. What a psycho!
Yeah, that's
and obviously the story that I heard from Zane, Josh, and Nate walking into the OU basketball game last night about Zach and whenever his dad may or may not have walked on him during something.
It's the end of an era.
It's
the end of an era.
What a weirdo. Sorry, Zach. Good thing I've never actually met you.
Now you understand the comment at the end of that pod from Dixon.
Yeah. Now it makes sense. I was just sitting here nice towel, man. What are we talking about?
January 27th and 28th, Zach is going to be in Stillwater. Everybody
Why?
coming to a basketball game.
He's coming. He's spending the night.
Nebraska? Are they playing
Yeah.
Nebraska or what?
What day of
No,
the
they're
week is
playing
that?
Old Miss. It's a Friday, Saturday.
Shit.
Let's go. When is
Bryce
it?
won't go. What are you saying, Zane?
I asked
you
when
say?
it was. The 27th,
said-
28th.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, 27th, 28th. It's Friday, Saturday.
Let's go. I'll probably be
Zane,
there.
you got any more questions for Carson?
Who's getting last? I guess you already said it. Bryce
It's
versus
Bryce.
Isaiah.
Bryce's team sucks. I mean, Isaiah's team is undoubtedly worse. I think that Isaiah has no pieces, but like Bryce, one injury and he's done for. I mean, he's going to be starting guys that have ACL injuries. So
I heard
yeah.
Nick Chubb was tearing his ACL this week.
As a Browns fan, there is rumors that Nick Chubb is going to get injured soon. We have been working him more than we have any other year. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen soon.
I hope that's true.
I hope it isn't.
Hopefully
But if we
next
do
week
look
when
at
they play my
Jerome Ford
Dolphins.
or Dearness Johnson, if Kareem Hunt gets injured, it's going to be Jerome Ford taking his spot. And if Nick Chubb gets injured, it's going to be Dearness Johnson. That's a little
Man,
waiver wire
that's-
hint from the
that's some
Browns,
good
Browns
insight.
franchise.
Dearness Johnson was the 1 week monster last year.
When
Yeah.
Nick Chubb had COVID, yes, sir.
What do you guys think about COVID?
I have it
Joe
currently.
Okay,
Joe Biden said it's over, so that's good news.
that's good. Glad to hear
Yeah.
that.
But the rest of his cabinet immediately shot that down, so I'm not really sure anymore.
Okay, so I shouldn't go get another poke this week.
No, ask Zane. Zane's already had his fifth.
Saying fifth shot, saying you
That's
got
false.
Moderna and Pfizer.
He's
all
taking
Johnson
COVID
and
shots like
Johnson.
All of them,
like they're
all of them they
candy at
say
the
you
end of
can
a
get.
restaurant.
I get all the different vaccines.
all the
That
different,
is-
all the boosters. Everything.
yeah, I have all of them.
Let's go. Got to collect them all.
Let's go. Hey, that's what you need to say for YouTube to keep us up, man. So I appreciate you taking that bullet, because I would never admit that I got the COVID vaccine. What a
Me
joke.
neither.
You're welcome, YouTube. Keep us in the algorithm.
Thank you, YouTube.
Yeah, the algorithm. What
Well,
was the
anything else
sponsor this week? I missed it.
It's Manscaped.
Oh, all right. The lawnmower 3.0.
Yes, and they're actually on the 4.0 and the new
4.0.
nose trimmer.
Oh, I love Manscaped.
Yeah.
I use it all the time.
Oh, another
That's-
user. You know, Zane
Yeah.
uses it once a week.
Oh, Zane, where at? You don't grow any facial hair.
My balls and my asshole.
Oh, you too, Zane?
No, he does it on mine.
Oh, on yours.
You're gonna see that. You're gonna listen to
Appar-
the ad read. You're gonna learn that.
Okay,
Yeah,
my
Zane-
bad.
it was
Zane
news.
actually-
It was news to me.
No, Zane
Oh.
actually volunteered. Like, whenever Dickie was like, you know what, I really want to try this thing out. He was like, I don't know if I can get to all the spots though. Zane was like, here, let me help you.
Yeah,
those
so we
hard
would
to
never
reach
give
places,
yeah.
our listeners a bad product, so we had to test out the product. Zane
It's-
volunteered to use the product to help me out, so I could give a good ad read. This
I
Same
always,
thing
I
with-
always volunteer.
Yeah, like the sponsor before. I mean, we won't name them because they're not paying us, but yeah, the
Yeah.
previous sponsor, Zane, was testing their product as well. So good for you, Zane.
Yeah,
a-
he
he's
was
a
our
team
guinea
player.
pig, and he really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
I
so
believe
much.
it.
Gotta
I
help
believe
him
it.
out.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, well, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Any last second comments? I'm filming a podcast.
Yeah.
I think that was the last place team in the league just knocking on my door. By the
Oh,
way.
I'd love to hear from him.
I believe it. Yeah, let's get a cameo out of him.
He just ran away.
Oh, gosh.
No, I have nothing else. Carson, thanks for coming on. We finally got to talk to. We've been waiting since we started this, but you just kept losing. But
Well, yeah, I thought you guys were my curse. I hadn't won until this week since you guys started the podcast, but I'm glad to finally be on. Appreciate you guys having me. It's been fun.
oh yeah,
Definitely. If you make the playoffs, we might have you on again.
don't
Let's
make
go.
trades with him.
Let's
Everyone in the
go.
league
Well,
couldn't
open
make
for
the trades.
trades.
with
We
him.
can send some
11
trades.
days
I'm always,
left.
I'm
No
always
more
open for
trades.
trades.
Everyone's on the block.
All right, that's a
Don't
good place
do
to
it.
wrap it up. Thank you everyone for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at the Whad Happened Podcast. We are also available on Spotify. Make sure to give us a listen if you can't afford, if you don't have the time to watch it. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day or night.